across the straightaway that they hit on a bike. Yeah.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Renatus J.A.M. My name is Jay Stark, and I am super excited to be back with you with my fearless co-host,
Mr. Matt Snyder.
Mr. Matt Snyder is back again.
I'm back. Back again.
Back again.
Back again.
Guess who's back?
Yep. Back
Tell a
again.
friend. Matt
Guess
is
who's
back.
back?
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 Dude, we should start
Only
a
our
boy
generation's
band.
gonna get that.
We should start a boy band.
Yeah, we should.
We would absolutely not do very much as a boy band, but it would be fun.
Yeah, it would. It would. We would suck, but it would be awesome.
Do you want to do that again? VMix froze on me.
Oh no!
Is that what it was? I'm
No,
like,
it's still recording. We're still going, so we can keep going.
Is the
It was just
stream
a
live?
crappy opening. Oh yeah, everything's live.
Stream's live. Everyone's live.
Nah, we'll leave it.
Yeah, let's
Just rock and roll.
We'll rock and roll.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or rap and roll.
Well, yeah, rap and roll. Yeah, we don't want to cut that out. I mean, that was beautiful.
You can't make up spontaneity like that.
That's
I mean,
right.
that was classic.
That was
A little bit of me, a little bit of you.
That's right. That was some early 2000s, maybe even late 90s. Let's see.
And,
So that would have been early
a-
2000s.
A lot of bit of
Early 2000s.
Mr.
2003,
Slim Shady.
2002 or 2003. Yeah.
Man alive, that makes me.
Yep.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Okay.
Takes you back. We were talking about that earlier with music. All the
Man.
music we grew up on.
Oh man, today at lunch we totally had a little period of reminiscing
Yes, we
about music that was meaningful to us at specific times in our lives. And I can't see the stream up right now on Facebook, unfortunately. I would
see it.
love to hear your comments on what song you might not have otherwise even really cared about or liked, but because of the situation in which you heard it, it just like left a mark.
Yeah, we've talked about associations. You know, Woody's talked a lot about it, right? But how strongly that music will correlate or associate in your brain to a moment or an environment or something like that.
Yeah.
And somebody, I don't remember what song it even was, because we played a few. But somebody played a song, and I was like, "Oh, that takes me right back to high school." You know, just like that, you're back there. You know.
Okay, so here's a song for me, and this one goes back to when my brother got married, and we were at his wedding reception, and the DJ played Tom Cochran's "Life Is a Highway."
Yeah. Okay.
The original, and that one still. It doesn't matter where I am. I go back to 13-year-old Jay, and I'm dancing with like the first girl I ever danced with.
Yep.
To "Life Is a Highway" by Tom Cochran.
Yeah, takes you right back there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh gosh, we played 99 Balloons by who's that by?
Goldfinger.
Goldfinger.
We played the one by Goldfinger, not the original. This is a remake.
Yeah, but that takes me back to junior high age.
The first time I heard that version of it with Goldfinger, I was in Germany.
Oh really?
I remember we were sitting in this kid's apartment, and he just cranked it up. And
how much older are you than I?
well, I'm
You're
42.
42? So you're 5 years older than I am.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because I was thinking I was like in junior high at that time, but the math adds up then.
It does that maths.
Yep.
So anyway, yeah, if you guys can think of a song that left a mark on you because of the situation you were in when you first heard it, or when it became imprinted on you. We were telling the story about the song from Outkast, "Hey Ya."
Oh, yeah, that's how this started.
And there was a study done that talked about that the more often you hear a song, the more you like it. And so when Hey Ya first came out, it wasn't leaving the kind of, it didn't have the kind of popularity that everyone thought it would. And so they started deliberately dropping it in the middle of like the primetime song set on the radio so that people would associate it with the other music that they liked, bookending the song.
Yeah.
And it worked. It became an incredibly popular song.
Yeah. Well, and the just repetition that like eventually you end up liking it. I just think it's there when you associate other stuff.
Okay. Have you ever loved a song, heard it your entire life, and then one time paid attention to the lyrics and gone, holy, what have I been singing all these years?
Rihanna's Shut Up and Drive. I figured out what she was saying like 2 years ago. I realized like, oh, this isn't a song about cars.
That's so funny. So just a producer's note here. Mr. Hiller asked on Facebook if we can get the volume turned up a little bit. Says he's maxed out and can barely hear us.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't think that's on our end. I think that's on the producer's.
I was going to say, you sound a little quiet in my headphones, but those are two different volume.
It sounds fine on my end. It's plenty loud on Facebook for me.
Okay.
I don't know, man. Maybe just try cranking it up a little bit anyway. And I don't know.
Okay.
Okay. Right on.
Yeah.
Is it better now? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
All right.
Yes.
So so funny. Music is such a powerful method of communication. And I'll never forget when I first learned about what some lyrics meant to certain songs that I loved in high school.
Yeah.
Like Rage Against the Machine. I used to listen to those guys a ton.
Yeah.
And try to figure out, what they're actually talking about.
Yeah, there's a lot of that from that era that I didn't catch on to.
Right.
Either it was innuendos or political stuff that I had no idea of.
Lots of political stuff.
So much political stuff, and I didn't even know about politics. Like if you'd asked me in high school what a Republican or a Democrat is, I wouldn't have been able to tell you.
Right.
I don't know.
Or what the difference is. You might be able to say, well, I know that they're both political parties.
Yeah.
But yeah, understanding the difference, what one means, what versus the other, I don't know that I.
It was a different time back then. Now I think if you were to ask kids, they probably would know, right?
I think that they have an idea, but they would talk about people who represent the party.
So they would know Hillary or Trump or Biden or Trump.
Right. Or George Bush or whatever. It would be, I think they would know people associated with the party maybe more than the party ideals.
Yeah.
They would probably also know what their parents would support or represent.
Yeah.
But I'll never forget when I was in high school, I was in a debate class and we took certain sections of the article or the what was the precursor to the Constitution? The Articles of
Confederation.
Confederation. That's what it was. I said in my head I was saying incorporation. Articles of Incorporation.
Yeah,
we talked about that earlier, and I was like, wait a second, that's not right. The Articles of Confederation.
Right.
And we held a debate where we split them into 5 sections, and then we had 5 people or 10 people debating, 5 on each side.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget, I had the preamble of the Articles of Confederation, and I won. I'm like, how did I just beat the Constitution? That doesn't even make sense.
It doesn't.
Anyway.
That's funny.
Yeah. All right. Well, now that we've gotten all that out of the way.
We've covered some stuff.
I tell you what, have you heard the song Rich Men North of Richmond?
Oh, of course. Yeah.
That song... That one is
I love it.
Yeah.
So I tripped across Oliver Anthony before that song was even released.
Okay.
I just found him just listening to music. He has a song about getting sober, and I was like, oh, this is cool. This is really like bluesy, deep, heartfelt, like, I loved it. So I saved it in my playlist or whatever. I couldn't have even told you who he was, though, until that song came out, and then I started going back through his stuff, and I was like, oh, I've actually... I listened to some of his stuff. I had no idea, but he really, struck a nerve, I think, with a lot of people with that one.
Yeah.
It's I've never seen anybody go from being that small to blowing up like that in quite this way.
That song was
nuclear.
Big one.
Yeah.
It was a big one. And it's got a lot to do with politics and politicians, and the rich men north of Richmond are all talking about the politicians in D.C.
Yeah, I think it's funny because he's like, they talked about it at the Republican primary. And he's like, that song was written about those people, like they're acting like, those people are the other people are the ones. And I got a pretty good chuckle out of that.
Everybody always thinks, oh yeah, this message was intended for someone else.
Yeah.
I hope that other people learn how to be humble, or I hope that other people are nicer to me. And it's like, why don't you try being nicer to other people?
I do love, though, how you can take music and interpret it to what it means in your life.
Oh yeah.
Right? Like, because I think there's probably a lot of music that I still listen to where I don't know exactly why the artist wrote it. I just know what it means in my life.
Right.
You know? And so
it's like for me, Enter Sandman, Metallica, will always hold a special place in my heart.
Yeah.
Even though it's, I don't know. But when I was young and that first came out, me and my buddy got it on CD. It was one of the first CDs I ever owned, and we played it over and over and over and over. So Chris, man, if you're out there, my buddy Chris from back when I was a kid, he'll know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah. I hope Chris sees this one day.
That would be awesome.
That would be so cool.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
All right. So let's get back to the reason why we're here.
Yeah, we left-turned hard.
And we leaned into it, man.
I'm making up for lost time here. Yeah.
Matt, it is good to have you back. I tell you what.
It's good to be back.
Last week going solo was not my favorite thing.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad that I could be back. I mean, this is fun. And, I don't know how you did it because there was one week you were gone and Aaron's like, so are we going to do it? And I was like, man, I mean, I could. I don't know. And
just do it.
Yeah, I'm sure I will coming up here. But he was like, I need to work on the VMix and do this.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what? If it's easier for you, dude, I'm out. Like it's all right. I got a lot to do.
In the words of the incredible Mr. Phil Knight, Just do it.
All right.
Just do it.
Well, one of these days you're just going to get the Matt show. And
there you go.
Who knows what that's going to turn out to be like. It's just NASCAR. Just left turn into left.
Here's what's going to happen.
We won't talk about Renatus or real estate at all.
Here's what's going to happen. You guys are going to get Matt, and he is going to stay just hyper-focused on point. It's going to be a 5-minute long podcast, and it'll be done.
It'll be concise. Everything covered. Boom.
Oh man, that's funny.
Yeah, that doesn't usually play. There's too much going on up here. Too many,
Yeah, man.
I don't know if it's ADD or what. I don't know.
No, this goes back to the conversation we were having earlier today about you being an intellectual.
Oh yeah,
and being the way that your brain organizes information and you want to disseminate it.
It's true, and he nailed it earlier because we were talking about presenting from stage, right?
Yeah.
And Jay summed me up pretty quickly. So yeah,
it wasn't quick. It didn't take long. Or it took a long time to get to the conclusion. It didn't take a long time to talk about the conclusion.
Yes. Yeah.
But all right, so here we go. We have next week the Renatus Leaders Retreat.
Yep.
And I am super excited.
I am too. I cannot wait.
Oh man.
Jay, I freaking love Mexico. Just because I love the beach, I love the ocean, the sunshine. Like, let me rephrase this. I love Mexico when I am a tourist with money. That's when I love Mexico, right? Like, if you run out of money in Mexico, I think Mexico is not a fun place to be.
Or if you're not a tourist, if you're there against your will.
Yeah. Then it stops being so fun, I think.
But, man.
Yeah.
But we are going down to sunny Cancun, Mexico.
Yes.
We are staying at the Dreams Natura Resort, which I cannot wait to be on site for. I have only seen pictures and heard the stories, and it's going to be incredible.
I've heard it's great, and I cannot wait to see with my own eyes.
One of my favorite parts about this year is that Bob had a room block. I think he had like what was it, 75 rooms or something.
I think it was 75.
And we ended up selling out of the room block
Fast.
inside of like the first month.
Yeah, very, very fast.
And then the hotel continued to honor our price because we're going in an off-peak season. They honored our price for well beyond that. So we are going to end up with a couple hundred people down there.
Which is awesome. And I think a huge benefit to doing this in September and not August.
Yes.
And school has started, I think, for everybody. Because we always run against...
Every
that's
year.
the number one thing that I hear from people is like, hey, can we do this not when school starts?
Right.
And there was always reasons in booking it back then. But I think that we could... I hope we could pull this off in the future where we could do a September
we'll have to see what we can do, but I'm excited about this year, and I'm excited about the number of people that are going to be there with us.
Yeah.
We're going to have a really, really good time.
Oh, and we're going to take over that place because I think it's only a 400-room hotel.
Right, so we're going to have like half of them.
Yeah. Really though, we're gonna be running that place. It's gonna when that happens, it's fun. It's so. I was gonna say it gets wild, but I know that my dad does not appreciate when Renatus members make Renatus look bad or wild. I guess would really be
okay. So he's making reference to some of the late night shenanigans that go on.
That's what I'm making.
He is not making reference to what you may associate with a wild party in Mexico.
Yeah. What I'm talking about are. Funny enough, some of my favorite memories, but
okay, share.
Yeah.
You know, you're past the
right.
You're past the
oh man.
What's the word?
Point of no return?
No. When you can no longer be prosecuted for a crime.
Oh, statute of limitations.
You're past the statute of limitations here.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. I think this was a 2017 year.
All right.
I remember we had a giant pool with a bridge that kind of went over the top of the. Anyways, we stacked all of the lounge chairs on top of each other. Like we're talking like 20 chairs on, creating a probably 10-foot tall tower of chairs inside the pool, and we're standing on top of two towers of these.
Deep.
Yeah, it was like 3.5 feet deep or 4 feet deep or something. And we're standing on top of these fighting, like chicken fighting and pushing people off. And then we got kicked out of the pool. And then
really?
Yeah,
surprise.
Man, the management didn't appreciate that because they closed the pools, and that was after the pools closed. And I don't even know how it started, but it always starts like one person does one thing and then the next kind of escalates it and the next escalates it.
Yeah.
There's a term for it, like with mob violence, but this was just like mob fun. I don't know. Anyways.
Oh man.
But we, it just got out of hand, and then we went and created a slack line between two of the, or actually before that we did a slip and slide on we got it all wet on this slippery rock face.
I think you're mixing a couple of years together.
No, this was, I remember, because it was one thing to next. It was John O'Neill he just strung us from one thing to the next. We did the slip and slide thing, and then they got mad at us, and so then we did the slack line thing. And by the time we were doing the slack line between the trees, like in just the pool, kind of off the pool area, management just brought us a waiver. I'm not kidding. They were just like, we clearly can't control you. We can't kick all of you out.
This is why I love Mexico.
So yeah. It was just like, just don't sue us, please. Yeah.
Oh man, that's hilarious.
So it was so much fun though. We had a good time, And I know in other years, like Woody's been out there with glow lights.
Oh man, so we did. One year we had glow sticks, and he pulled them out. It's probably 10 or 11 o'clock at night. He pulls them out, and we started playing like dodgeball, basically with glow sticks at night.
Yep.
Oh man, and we had hundreds of them. There was not one or two.
No, there were hundreds.
Of these things.
Yeah. It's so much fun. I mean, I'd say that just playing the water volleyball in the pool, the impromptu games that get together are some of my absolute favorite things.
Last year last year, we were just hanging out in the pool.
Yeah.
It was dark. It was night, and we were hanging out in the pool, and me and Whitney and a couple of other. Were you there as well when Greg was there with his whole team? And we got to know their team really well, and got to hang out with them. And,
not in the pool. I didn't. Yeah.
Yeah, we just had a really good time with them.
That kind of stuff is just, that's what it's about. Like, we did that. It was me, my dad, and Woody and Shay. And were you there with us in that pool? I think you came later.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. And so we were just sitting on pool toys in the closed pool. Again, the pool is closed.
Yeah.
But so nobody's in it. It's nighttime, and we were just floating on floaties, just sitting there in the pool for like an hour. We just sat there and hung out and talked and BS'd, and it was fun. It was so much fun.
Yeah, it's that kind of stuff is just a good time all around.
Yeah.
And last year we had we were in Costa Rica, and we had that one like lounge area that was reserved that we ended up doing karaoke in.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And that was awesome.
Brigham Blackman brought it.
Oh, man. He did a song from Les Mis that
he brought the heat.
Yeah, he did great. And then CJ Stott came out, and he was killing it.
Yep.
I'm trying to think of who else we had out there that was singing.
Yeah, who else? There was several that were really good. I'm trying to remember.
We were just having fun.
Yeah.
And it makes
and then it rained like crazy.
Oh, yeah.
It was nuts going back to the hotel. Yeah, I was soaked.
Yeah, that's part of the fun. I mean, you're there to
it is. I mean, well, when you're in those tropical places.
Oh yeah.
You're
soaked
You're
anyway,
in a swimsuit. You're in a swimsuit the whole time. Like, it's just
so. I will never forget. And it's funny because every time that we start talking about the leaders retreat right now, I start laughing because of an experience I had last year.
Oh yeah,
I cannot get this out of my head.
Oh, you're talking about ziplining. Okay, yeah. I follow.
We did this excursion where we were ziplining. And we ended up ziplining like down this canyon where you would go, like the first zip line took you to the other side. The second zip line, you went off a slide and went down. The third zip line, you would like pendulum where it would take you up and then back, and then you would stop in the middle.
Don't let them undersell it. You're 100 feet above the ground on a raging river below you over canyons and jungle canopy. It was the most amazing zip line I've ever been on.
And then they had,
terrifying.
They had other like activities in the zip line, right? Where there was one where you could rappel down and then climb back up, and then
that's the terrifying I'm talking about. It was like
that was awesome.
It was like on a rock face, like a literal rock cliff. There's river at the bottom. This cliff is like 100 feet tall for real, and they've got a little platform just built like right up here, and you zip line to the platform, and you're standing on the platform, and then they unhook you, and I'm like, guys, what if I fall? Like, this is this thing's being held up by toothpicks. Like, what are we doing? It was just
so then
it's all good fun.
So then we get to this one section, and I'm way up in the air, and in order to unhook you off the line, you have to jump. Yeah. Take all your weight off the harness.
Yeah, your weight has to be off the harness.
They can undo your little carabiner thing.
Yep.
And so I jumped, and the gentleman that was helping me to unhook had the unfortunate placement of being right in front of where my legs went up, and so he and I became friendly on a whole new level.
Yeah.
And
what do they call him? Huevos in Spanish? he got his huevos scrambled.
I feel so bad, and it makes me laugh every time.
Genuine accident, but
this poor guy is like in the fetal position on this little platform.
Oh, I didn't realize. I didn't see this happen. I can't imagine being on that platform, and then like, what if you roll off? It's not a big platform. It's like the size of the rug that is below me. It was just.
I made sure he didn't go anywhere. He was all right. And, a couple of deep breaths later, he felt okay, too. It was just one of those accidents that was so funny. And I felt so bad for the guy. And he laughed it off. He was okay.
Oh man, yeah, that was a crazy excursion too.
It was.
I'll bet we did 30 something zip lines. You zip line to zip line to zip line to zip line.
I don't know. There was a bunch, but that was only one of 3 activities that we did. So we did the horseback riding.
Yeah, and the river rafting.
Did the whitewater rafting.
Tubing, I guess is what
it
was.
Yeah, the whitewater tubing.
I think that's what you'd call it. We were all in personal tubes. It was awesome. It was
so much fun.
Because we were all expecting this is a touristy kind of...
This is going to be like a lazy river.
A Sunday soak, just kind of laying.
Oh, no, this is Mexico, man.
No.
We're going off 4-foot rapids.
Oh, yeah, it was insane. They're like, they handed us helmets before we get in there, and I'm like, okay, whatever. Life raft, they're making sure our life vests are all on and everything.
A couple of people got a little roughed up in that river, but it was fun, man.
Because you flip over, you hit rocks, you're banging around, and it was awesome. I know it doesn't sound awesome. It was fun.
It was a good time.
Yeah.
It was a good time. But then the horseback riding was all right. Not my favorite. I got to tell you, the horseback riding we did up at the 5-Star Winter Circle just barely.
Much better.
That was incredible.
Yeah, the horseback riding there was just like I rode a horse. I actually kind of felt, but like I could see the horse's ribs. I was like, these guys are just not feeding this thing enough. It was, and then you just feel guilty for all that you've been fed.
Let me just say,
your whole life as this poor horse is trying to struggle to take you along.
The American horses that we rode up here,
they don't have that problem.
They did not want for food.
Yeah, I'm sure they are just fine.
They were big boys.
They could use the hike. It's probably what get a little exercise.
I have to admit though, with the leaders retreat of years past, one of my favorite things, and I see this every single year with different people, is just seeing I'm going to call them an unrelated group of ICMs of people who come together.
Oh yeah.
And they're typically they tend to they tend to magnify or be attracted to a leader somewhere. And then an impromptu training takes place.
Yep.
And the first time I saw this was at the very first leaders retreat that I went to. Bob Snyder was in the pool, and somebody had pulled over one of those little umbrellas. And you know how those pools have like a 1 foot deep section and then it kind of goes down?
Yeah.
It's like 4 feet deep or whatever.
Yep.
So somebody had pulled one of the umbrellas into the foot deep section, and Bob was kind of sitting on the edge, and then this whole group of people just kind of came around, and he started telling story after story after story.
I got a picture of him in Cabo doing that very thing. I'll bet there's 25, 30 people that just... And he, because they were asking him questions about, hey, like, what do you do if, how do I start in my area? How do I, on a low budget? Like, how do I basically not spend thousands of dollars and get into some building somewhere and market? And he went through the whole thing. Yeah, it was beautiful.
It's pretty amazing, and you don't get those experiences anywhere else. This is the one event all year long where you're going to get leadership in the most relaxed state out of any other event.
It's where the real, like, deep friendships are built.
Yeah.
Because, you come walking away from those events, when you play pool volleyball with people, or you stack chairs up and push each other off inside of a pool while management's yelling at you. It's like those are bonding experiences.
Believe it or not, Matt is not typically this physical with people. He's not like the guy who's going to be picking random people up and chucking them in the pool.
Yeah, no, I'm not. But I had fun. Just being a kid again, almost. Just for.
I am that guy. I will pick people up.
He'll push you. Yeah. Make sure your phone's not in your pocket if you're by the pool.
No, I tell you what, it's one of my favorite events all year long, and it's a good time to get to hang out with the family. And I love that we've got a couple hundred people that are coming down with us.
Me too.
And I think it's going to be incredible.
And the boat ride this time.
Oh,
I have not been on this boat, but I have heard about this boat. If this boat is anything like the last boat that I have been on, so there's sister parks.
Yep.
Like I guess Mexico's version of an amusement park. So, in Cancun, there's like 1,500 miles of cenotes, which are underground cave systems that are full of water or partially full of water. Anyways, there's lots of openings to these caves, and that's what they call a cenote, is where there's an opening, and so you can jump usually off the roof down into a cave or something like that. But some of these parks are built all around these cenotes, and so you can swim, underground for like half a mile. They've got lights and plenty of air, and it's not scary or dangerous in any way. But like, unless you can't swim, then it would be. But it's
even then you're in salt water, one,
and you're wearing a life vest.
You're wearing a life vest.
So it's true. It's true. They just give you flippers and a snorkel, and you go, and it's so fun. Anyways, these parks though or the one that we went to, which was
Xcaret.
Xcaret, like Xcaret is how it's spelled. They had a boat that you can sink. It's in the ocean. It's an ocean speedboat.
Now he says that you can sink. What he means is that will go submerged underwater.
It will submerge underwater and then has special pumps to pump the water out. So we're going 40 miles an hour. I know this. I looked at the tack and I did the conversion from kilometers.
He says tack. He means speedo.
Speedometer. It's not a tachometer anymore. If it was a needle, it was a needle.
Yeah, but the tack measures the spin of the engine, the RPMs.
Oh, well, I just learned something. Okay, yeah. So, speedometer. I was looking at the speedometer. Anyways, we were going 40 miles an hour. I was like, this is pretty fast on the ocean.
On the ocean.
With waves and stuff. And then they just hit essentially what is a brake. The motor shuts off, and they've got something that drags in the back, and it sends the nose down. And the nose, you literally dive underwater. And the first time that happened, I didn't know what was happening. I thought we broke the boat and it was sinking. And
none of us knew what was happening.
Yeah, I was like, we're going to have to swim back.
And we're like, ah!
Yeah, it was nuts. And then just slowly, over the course of like the next 60 seconds, the boat just started to float higher and higher in the water. So water levels, let's say right here, boat down here, and I'm bobbing in the water, completely just floating above my seat, because I'm wearing, you're wearing a life vest. You're just like, what is this going on?
It makes more sense why the driver had his mask and his snorkel.
Yeah.
It makes more sense.
If you're sitting in the front row, which I was, that water comes right over the front, smacks you right in the face.
And of course, they don't warn you about that.
No.
But both of them duck.
No, but it's like a giant neti pot of ocean water. It was so epic, though.
Oh, man, that is so gross.
And then they pump the water out. And so, like, you can visibly watch the water go down inside the boat. It's so fast. Oh. It was so fun. And then they do, like, 360s and jump it, and we did all sorts of crazy stuff. So I guess they've got boats like that.
This one, though, is not in the ocean. This one goes up a river.
It's a river boat, and it doesn't sink, right? But it doesn't 360s.
Sink. It does, but they're taking you in a much narrower channel.
Yeah, that sounds a little more terrifying. I'd actually prefer the ocean.
Right? In the ocean, it's wide open, and you realize, okay, the boat flips over. I'm swimming to shore.
You can see the shore, so you're like, I can probably make it.
Going up this river, you are going 40 miles an hour, banking hard turns up a river.
Yeah, it sounds thrilling. It actually sounds kind of a little terrifying, because believe it or not, after all this storytelling, I don't like boats. I really don't like boats. But I had a fun time in the ocean boat. I loved that boat.
In the ocean boat.
Yeah, I was in the ocean on that boat. Trust me. Good times.
But it's the little events around the big ones that are truly impactful.
Yeah.
Like spending that time, we had to wait for the boat to come back the first time, and we were there for like 30 minutes or something.
Jumped off the dock.
And we were jumping off this pier. Granted, we did not know we were not supposed to jump off this pier.
We kind of just... We should
but in
have.
Mexico,
we should have asked.
You asked for forgiveness.
Yeah, hey, this is the ocean. Let's just jump off this giant concrete retaining wall we're standing on into the ocean. We're in our swimsuits. This sounds like a good time.
And now I know why in America we have signs everywhere
and laws
say don't jump,
because we jumped into the place where all the speedboats pull in, and so the guy, that finally saw us swimming in the, he's like, "Get out of there! Like, what are you doing?" Yeah,
good times.
Yeah.
Good times.
Luckily we didn't get hit by any speedboats. That was cool.
That was fun.
Yeah.
That was fun. But those moments, those bonding moments with the individuals that are around you, you can't replace.
No.
You can't create them any other way, and it's just it creates a phenomenal kinship, a friendship, a community sense that is just unbeatable.
Yeah.
And so I'm really grateful for the opportunity. So I think we've kind of walked through this before. Friday night we've got our welcome reception.
Mm-hmm.
Saturday is going to be the big group training from 9 until about 2.
Yep.
And then we're taking the big group picture, so don't run away after that. We're going to do the big group picture with everybody. And then we have the small group trainings.
Mm-hmm.
Small group training, which is going to be that evening, the private reception for the first 25 people who got their rooms registered.
Yeah.
And then we've got on Monday, we have our big group excursion.
Yep.
And then the farewell banquet Monday night.
And the big group excursion is that park, right? The
It is
Zavage. Yeah.
Yep.
Xavage, I think is what it is.
Yep.
But yeah, it's a.
So I hope that you guys have your transfers already taken care of to and from the hotel to the airport. I hope that you guys are prepared to have a good time, and it's just come ready. Just come ready to learn, to grow, to create new relationships, new meanings, new opportunities. Just
meet new people.
Meet new people.
Gosh, I mean, that alone right there is just so valuable to create those kinds of friendships and contacts. And there's there are people I've only ever seen at the leaders retreat because I don't see them anywhere else.
Right, you get to the national
and we're best of friends because
many people there that you can't really find them. And,
but you're best of friends because of the link that was made at Leisure Street. So looking forward.
Yeah, there are several people that I can look back at right now and think to myself, that our bond was strengthened because of what we went through at the Leaders Retreat.
Yeah,
I'll never forget the only time in my life that I have rode a mechanical bull was in Cancun.
Yeah.
And the people that were there with me at the time, dude, they're friends forever.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I'll never forget that.
Yep.
It was just so much fun.
Yeah.
So much fun. Mr. Hiller put on here, can't be much worse than riding shotgun with Mr. Snyder in the Can-Am. With Bob, you can kind of anticipate what's coming.
Yeah.
With some of these crazy boat drivers, you can't really anticipate it.
And sometimes they say stuff, but it's in Spanish, so I'm like, I don't know what that. I'm just bracing for anything at this point. I don't know.
Oh man, so much fun. But I did want to bring up one thing, and I keep meaning to send this email, and I haven't sent it yet to those 25 people that are joining us for the small group mastermind, is what we're calling it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be sending an email that will allow every individual to submit questions to us that we can then answer. So we will answer it. So you can write your question to Bob, to me, to Matt, to the pack, and then we will answer that question in the mastermind and go over all of that content. So I'll be sending that email later today. And if you're one of those 25, I'm asking all 25 of you to submit at least one question so that we have good material that we can cover. But that is going to make it as meaningful as possible for each one of you. So look forward to that. If you're one of the first 25, you guys already know who you are. And we will make that just an amazing night to remember.
Yep.
Be incredible.
Yep.
With the 5-star Winter Circle retreat that we just did, some of the most impactful time was that quiet time that we spent just talking about the business, talking about life, hearing how different things came about, where the company's headed, all of that. So don't miss your chance to take part in a similar conversation. Make sure that you get those questions submitted to us.
Yep. Masterminding.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's part of what I was saying is, you'll meet people that you'd never otherwise would have met and had time to sit down with them and mastermind stuff out.
Right.
Especially somebody that might be where you want to be, in Renatus.
Right.
I would listen to them. What did they do to get there? And that's a whole nother, conversation. It's wonderful though. It's a good time.
It is a good time. All right, man. That's the Leaders Retreat. That's coming up next week. It starts on Friday. It goes through Tuesday. And I'm coming in a couple days early, staying a couple days late. I know Matt is as well. And I hope to see all of you there. If you have any questions, make sure that you reach out to the customer service team here at the home office, or reach out to Carol Allegre. Her contact information is on the homepage of Renatus in the lower left corner, where it talks about the Leaders Retreat. Just click on the details page and you'll be able to find all of her contact information there. All right. Couple other things.
Couple. Two?
3.
That's a lie then.
Well,
You can't be lying right in front of compliance like that.
Okay, hang on. Is couple
Yes, 2.
a specific number?
Yes, like a couple people.
So couple
2.
is just 2.
Yes.
So if I were
Few would be 3.
to join 3 things together
You'd call them a few things.
in a union, you wouldn't call that coupled.
Nope, I would call it a few things.
A few things coupled.
Well, now you're using it as a different.
What?
Yeah, you're
What?
you're using it different now.
What? I'd blame me too.
As
if
you're
I were
talking
you.
about the bonding process in welding, not the number of things, because it has multiple definitions.
Mr. Hiller agreed with you, but that makes you both wrong because neither one of you agreed with me. A few. How's that? Okay. I have a few more things.
You're on.
I have less than several, more than
several.
One.
Also 3, but could be 4.
What?
Yep.
Where are these rules written?
Yeah, hey, look, I don't make the rules. I'm just reporting them.
Where are they written? Show me where these rules are written.
They are written in societal norms.
Oh.
Who's
Society
right? Who's right?
Got it.
Tell
wrong.
us who's right here.
Mr. Hiller does agree with you, and that's unfortunate because he's just reinforcing the wrong message. This is fake news at its best right here.
We're gonna get demonetized for misinformation.
All right. I have 3 more things to cover.
I actually looked it up.
Thank
First
you.
definition, 2 individuals of the same sort considered together.
Okay.
Third definition is an indefinite small number.
Indefinite small.
Thank
Both
you.
Right.
Thank you very much.
Wow, that
And obviously,
feels,
it comes from couple.
that feels like we
be
both
here
got a trophy.
All day.
Yeah.
No.
was
No.
a tie.
You said I was wrong. I didn't say you were wrong. I said that it meant a small number. And you said, no, it means 2 only.
Which is accurate.
No. He just read definition number 3 was
Look.
it means a small number.
All right. If we're gonna really get down to it, who reads the third if by the time you get done with the second definition on Wikipedia, do you really get to the third?
It's like the second page of Google. Nobody goes there.
Exactly. Nobody goes there.
Hang on. In the first couple of definitions is the correct meaning of the word couple. So take that one, Mr. Webster.
In the first couple of definitions. Yes, 2.
Okay, I can't believe we're still arguing about this. This is the funniest, most asinine argument we've ever had.
By far. Unfortunately, IQ points have gotten down on this podcast. So.
How's that line in Billy Madison go? We are all dumber for having listened to you.
Yes, that's
all
what's
right.
happened. I'm sorry. I apologize. I'll let this one get out of hand. I had to let Jay know.
You receive no points, and may God have mercy on your soul. I love that line.
Oh man.
Oh wow.
Oh,
okay,
that's good.
Whew. All right, moving on to relevant material.
The relevant material, yes.
Regionals, which are not a representation of a number, are coming up starting in
October.
Denver.
Oh.
Well, yeah.
Look again. We're both right. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, right. No, you can't even. October 6th and 7th. I'm keeping us on track.
Thank you.
Right now. October 6th and 7th, we are getting started in Denver. Then we're headed to Washington, D.C., Chicago, Atlanta, and ending in the Salt Lake.
Yeah, buddy.
And I am super excited. One thing that I think is just critical to remember is that out of all of the people that we have interviewed, all of them say that their conversion to Renatus, where the business went from their head to their heart, happened at the national conference or at a regional conference.
Correct. That's been my experience.
Every one of them.
Yeah, that's been my experience.
So I really hope that you guys are taking these opportunities seriously and making a real effort to be there. Any one of them is going to be beneficial to you and to your business. A couple of them will be very beneficial. If you can make all of them, that's amazing.
Oh, yeah.
But I want you to prioritize where you can attend easiest and make it a priority to get there.
Yep.
And be there for the whole event. We've got people that are presenting that are our local talent. So you're going to have your local leadership. You're going to have, probably your PAC members. Then you're going to have the national leaders, PAC members from different areas. You're going to have Matt there. Bob's going to be there. So do not miss this opportunity to learn in this close, this intimate, this quiet conference, these times when you can spend that face-to-face time with leaders in their element, there to train you on what has taken them to where they are, which is ultimately where we want to go.
Yep, exactly. There's something special about regionals and nationals that you just don't get anywhere else. There's just something about the vibe there, the energy, is so just positive, and I personally love it. But when you get to listen to all these speakers and you actually get substance, because I think all too often, I don't know, I've been to conferences outside of Renatus and stuff, and you're just kind of like, these guys might be filling time,
right?
I never feel that way at regionals or nationals. It's just meat and potatoes. It's substance, and it's usable information. It's stuff that you can take back and use.
Yeah.
So
my
special.
One of my favorite parts is the benefit that every single individual receives. Mm-hmm. You get to go there, and I've heard this a number of times when people walk away from a regional, from a particular training, and they go, "That training, that was written for me."
Oh yeah, you love that, don't you? I love it. Absolutely. And then the awards banquet is really, the head to the heart thing. I think when you get to see what Renatus Education or ICM Opportunity have done in the lives of people and how it's changed their lives, that's where, especially because I think, you might not know with a lot of these people get up and I didn't know.
Right.
And they start talking and they're on their 18th real estate deal, and it's completely saved them, while they had a brain tumor, Ryan Dodge, or cancer, or another brain tumor. I'm thinking of Candace Adams. There's been so many that it's like, holy crap, where, this wasn't just a cool, fun thing they did that was like a hobby or something.
Right.
This was like life-saving to their financial well-being.
Right.
That is freaking cool.
Hearing the lives that have changed, about the fortuitous moments when Renatus came to people.
Yeah.
And they were able to take advantage of it and really see the difference and be able to point directly to, this is when my life changed. This was the moment.
Yep.
And you're right. It's incredible. And getting to hear those stories, that's what truly motivates me. To hear the progress that people are making in their lives and in their businesses, and the difference that it's making in their family, in their world.
Yeah, to see people that are able to, they get up there and they talk about the fact that now they spend time with their kids, where they couldn't before.
Right.
That kind of stuff, that changes their life, but also their kids' lives. That's a complete 180 from the life that their kid would have grown up with.
Right.
So, that kind of stuff I really enjoy. I really love.
Yeah.
To see the results, the fruits of everybody's labor.
Yeah. So Mr. Hiller put on here, the connections I made at the last national conference are the reason I'm in negotiations right now on a 40-unit mobile home park.
Boom, baby.
Boom, baby.
It's exactly what I'm talking about.
I love it. I love those stories. I love hearing that.
I do too. That is so cool. Yeah.
So good. So those are just a few of the benefits that you receive coming to the regional conferences. So Aaron, do me a favor, put that slide up just one more time. These are the dates and the locations. Check the calendar in the back office for whichever is nearest to you so that you can make sure that you don't leave that opportunity on the table.
Yeah.
Because the events you don't attend can't help you.
Amen to that. Yeah, that's, you don't show up, you don't get the benefits.
Okay. 2 more things real quick.
Yep.
Not to be confused with just a couple.
Well, we're going to agree to disagree.
Then I guess you're just you're okay with being wrong.
I could agree with you, but then we'd both be wrong.
No. You don't get to turn that one on me. All right, here we go. Last 2 things. First up, 10-day challenge. We are currently on day 2. If you get in there right now, you might be able to get caught up with day 1. But I want to drop this challenge on every single ICM in Renatus to become a Spartan, to complete the 10-day challenge. It is not about the medal. It is not about the title. Those things are both fun and included. It is all about the habits. It is all about the daily disciplines that you learn. And it is all about the replicatability, the repeatability, the fact that you can do this over and over and over again in your business to then change your lives. Bruce Lee I watched a documentary on him the other day. Pretty incredible. But he said, I would rather fight the man who's practiced 10,000 kicks than the man who's practiced one kick 10,000 times.
Yep.
This is the kick. This is the kick to practice 10,000 times that is going to make a monumental difference in your business. This is the training that Bob does, the punch, kick, block. This is that training. These are the building blocks of every single successful business inside of Renatus. It is not about the latest and greatest tools, toys, perks, gadgets, buttons,
basics.
Gizmos. This is the basics of business building that are going to create a momentum, a massive wave of change in your business. So get involved. Do it. Get in there and figure out what you have to give up or get over or get around so that you can actually make your business a priority and start taking your financial future seriously, because nobody else will take as good of care of your business as you will.
That's the truth. Yeah, I'd rather know everything than hand it off to somebody who, I just think of hiring people to take over or to do things for you. And, there's all too often when it comes to real estate and comes to business ownership, people want to outsource it.
Okay.
People aren't going to care as much as you are about your business.
As a society, we are looking, striving, desiring the done-for-you option.
Mm-hmm.
Always. Mm-hmm. Right?
Yeah.
We want the simplest way of accomplishing the task.
Easy. I want it easy.
And we are willing to sacrifice a lot in order to get it.
Right.
And when it comes to successful business operation and ownership, it is not about finding the easiest way to do those things. It is about doing those things.
Yeah, and understanding, having a rock solid knowledge base about where all the moving pieces go.
Yes.
Because, I look at it as a chess game. That's really kind of life and business can somewhat be boiled down to a chess game. And if you don't know how all the pieces move, so you might be looking at a real estate deal and you might be a flipper and you're like, I can't flip that house. But there might be somebody else who could subject to it and rent it out. Right. And you're not looking at, or it could be an amazing VRBO, but you aren't looking at that because you're a flipper.
Right.
But you don't know how all the pieces move. Right. So
I got to tell you, I've learned just all too clearly. My wife volunteers in a organization where she helps people that are transient, they're in a tough spot. Mm-hmm. And while there are people that are legitimately on hard times, something has happened, it creates a critical situation in their life and they're looking to improve. Mm-hmm. And then there are a number of people who have this mindset of poverty where they can't make more money because if they do, then they will not get as many benefits or handouts from the government.
I've run into to people that have told me just that. I cannot make over X number of dollars a month.
Right.
Yes.
And that truly is a demonstration to me that wealth, poverty, anything in between is a mindset.
Oh, yeah.
It is a mindset where you get absolutely convinced that your reality is your destiny.
Mm-hmm.
When in reality, you can change your stars.
Yeah.
You can change by changing your mindset. And that starts with the 10-day challenge.
Yeah.
It is not an incredibly difficult challenge. It is not something that is overwhelming or is so time consuming that you will have no time for anything else. Instead, it's an hour a day.
Yep.
On average, get in there, watch the videos, do
basics.
the challenges, work the basics, and then rinse and repeat over and over and over.
Yeah.
And that's what's going to make you stronger. That's what's going to actually create success, create that momentum.
Absolutely, man.
Jim
Collins
in the book Good to Great, he talks about the wheel, the great wheel, right? And he says, yeah, people when they finally notice a business, it's after the wheel is already humming.
Oh yeah.
He's like, but they don't realize that it takes a grind to get that wheel moving.
Yep.
You know, and for the first little bit, it will be a grind. But after you start that momentum, after you get that wheel moving, oh yeah, it'll change your life.
That it will. But yeah, nobody sees what it took to get it there.
No.
You know?
No.
Got to do the work.
Okay, last thing.
Yeah.
And that is the Epic's
the last of the
real
three
estate.
things of your couple.
Yes.
All right. Okay. Just checking.
Don't hate on my couplings.
Yeah. Well, then why when it's three people together they call them a throuple? Have you heard that term? I've heard
I haven't.
That term like
That's
crazy.
funny.
Yeah.
That's not a real word.
Well, that's why if couple meant three, they would say couple.
Just because somebody says it wrong doesn't make it right.
Oh, all right. Well, I guess so.
All right.
I don't know.
The last thing I want to talk about is the Epics Real Estate Conference.
Yeah.
This conference, we've got 10 instructors coming up for 3 incredible days. We're hosting it here at the Renatus home office in our studio. We have it's January 10th, 11th, and 12th that we're doing this. In order to qualify to be there, you have to either purchase your Epics combo.
Yep.
Or complete your Epics combo.
Yep.
Or there is yet a third option. If you already own your Epics combo,
Sell a couple.
then you got to sell 2.
A couple.
2. Zwei.
Okay.
2.
Yeah.
You have to sell 2.
Yes, you sell 2.
You sell 2, and you too will get a ticket to come to the Epics Real Estate Conference. There is no cost to be there. It is truly just a promotional benefit to anybody who buys or completes their Epics combo from August 1st until the end of November. Don't forget, we're in the middle of this thing right now. I don't want anybody to forget. I want to make sure that everybody is included because we are holding this here in the studio so that we have more people that we can accommodate. We have more seating here. We're going to have different instructors that are coming here as well. And we are just going to have an incredible training for 3 days. Not only that, but on day number 4, if you want to stick around, you can join us at your own cost to come up to the ski slopes with us and go skiing with us.
Ooh, that'll be cool.
Yeah.
Oh, I'd heard talk. I didn't know we were gonna do it. So
We're doing it.
yes.
You can watch.
right.
You can watch me make an absolute goofball of myself because I don't ski well, but man, gravity works in my favor, so I have fun.
I don't ski or snowboard well either, so I use a snow go. If you don't know what it is, look it up. It's the best thing ever invented for snow, says me. It's so much easier than skis or snowboard. So it's just I guess for me, it felt like home right as soon as I got on it. And I'd spent 10 years snowboarding, and just the first time down the mountain on that thing, I could do more on it than I could on a snowboard after 10 years of snowboarding.
Well, it's because snowboarding was invented by somebody who likes hurting other people.
A psychopath. Yeah, I agree. It was probably like an orthopedic surgeon who needed more business fixing wrists and shoulders.
So here's the deal. I ski. I love to ski. It's a lot of fun. And that's the correct way to go down a mountain at speed.
Yeah.
A snow-covered mountain.
I mean, I've never been on skis. I probably still agree with you.
I will tell everybody who's not a Utah native this. Utah actually had its first snow last week.
Yeah.
So the snow has already started at the resorts.
Yeah.
And it's going to be incredible.
And it melted like in June, so it hasn't been very long
that it's been without snow.
Yeah, it's been quite a year.
Okay, that's it. That's my couple, my thruple, my few, my many, all of the things.
Sweet.
That's what I got.
Okay. I have no more things either.
No more things either? All right. Well, thanks everybody for being with us. We're going to try to come to you live next week from Mexico because we're going to be playing. But just in case we don't, we may be not back for another couple of weeks because we'll be there for about a week and a day or whatever. Mm-hmm. But I tell you what, we're going to miss you guys. For all of you who are joining us at the Leaders Retreat, you're going to get to jam live in person with both of us.
Yep.
But we are super excited to be spending that time with you guys. Never forget that the reason why Renatus rocks is because of the people who are associated with it, and that includes you. Thanks, everybody. Renatus rocks.
And I'm right about everything.